The following episode of Dad vs. Daughter was made possible by a contribution from North Star Games. Hello and welcome to another episode of Dad vs. Daughter. I'm Tim the Dad.
I'm Megan the daughter.
And Megan, what are we playing today?
We are going to play the Quacks of Quedlinburg,
And
the herb witches.
Why do you have those on your ears?
Because we're going to pull mandrakes from a bag, you know, protective gear.
Of course, Harry
Yeah.
Potter. And Harry Potter has witches.
Yeah.
We got
well,
witches.
My head of house is the professor of herbology, so I gotta,
Professor Sprout.
not lose points here.
Yeah. So if you're familiar with the Quacks of Quedlinburg, this is going to add some new ingredients like bigger pumpkins and
Yes.
some loco weed.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, loco weed. Yeah, as well as the witches. So check it out. When Quacks originally came out, I did this with my friends because you were not around.
No, I was not.
So you did not even have an opportunity to play this until recently.
Mm-hmm.
But just for those of you who may not be familiar with Quacks of Quedlinburg,
There's no ducks.
there are no
I
ducks.
thought there would be ducks in here, so I was disappointed in that. But anyway.
Quack, quack. So this is going to be played over 9 rounds. This is a push your luck game where we are going to be pulling ingredients out of our nice slick little black bag here. We all have the same starting ingredients. We have what they call cherry bombs, and they have different values. You can see we have 3s, we have 1 3, we have 2 2s, and 4 1s. We also start with a spider and a pumpkin. Now we're going to be pulling chips out of our bag one at a time, and if we ever get to be more than 7 of the cherry bombs in our cauldron is going to explode. And exploding is not really that bad, but it's also not good because you have to decide, do you want to take points or do you want to have credit in order to buy more ingredients? Because you want to keep building up your bag in order to get further in your cauldron. Speaking of your cauldron, we have our water droplet that can move. That's going to be our starting spot. We have the rat tails, which is kind of a catch-up mechanism based on how far someone is behind the current player in front of them on the board. Every round we're going to be drawing a card, and that's going to kind of set the tone for what we're going to be able to do. Might give us some bonuses, that sort of thing. The books here show how much it is to purchase certain ingredients, and you'll see that certain ingredients have different powers. The pumpkins in the new expansion also add a 6 pumpkin, which is actually kind of good.
But it's really expensive.
It is. Costs 22 credits in order to do that. And we are playing on book 6, so you'll notice the little bookmarks on the bottom there. So I mentioned we have a 6 pumpkin. Megan, what is the killer moth? That's what I like to call them. Murder moth.
Dead moth.
Like the murder hornets.
Yeah, the player whose black chip is the furthest ahead in the pot can move their droplet 1 space forward, and the player with the second furthest black chip receives a ruby.
Right. Then we have our mushrooms, which allow us to, you're going to draw 1 additional chip and put it aside. You're going to decide when you're going to place that chip, but you must place it even after your pot explodes. And then we have the spiders.
Yep, so for every green chip placed last or next to last in your pot, you can roll the bonus dice and you receive that bonus as indicated.
Yeah, we got I think they're the crow skulls here. It says for every white 1 chip within the previous 1, 2, or 4 chips placed, you immediately receive a ruby. And you'll see that's based on the 1, 2, or 4 chip that you have in your pot. And next we have the loco weed.
Yep, so for this one, you copy the function and value of the last colored chip placed, so you can wear any of the white ones.
Yeah, so that's kind of a neat thing. The other 2 that are going to come up in the second and third round, we have the mandrakes. So if you're a Harry Potter fan, you're very familiar with mandrakes.
Yep.
This is, if you give up 1 ruby, you can move this chip 3 more spaces forward. I really like that.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Next we have, I think this is the ghost.
It's like a ghost worm.
Yeah, something.
Ghosty.
It says you receive as many victory points as the printed value on the next place chip. Loco weed is only worth 1. So this is kind of a way to get some bonus points. Yeah. This is called the Herb Witches expansion. You'll notice we have 3 witches down here in the bottom.
So there are 3 witches, and there's 4 cardboard little things for each of them. We just randomly picked one, and these are the ones we're playing with in this game.
Right. In order to activate those, we have pennies Although
Witch pennies.
I like to call them coins because I'm going to toss a coin to my witch. So you'll see one for each. If we don't use these at the end of the game, they're worth 2 victory points. But in order to use them, it'll tell us when we can activate that by tossing a coin to our witch. This one here tells us that during our buying phase, we can upgrade the last 2 chips we added to our pot by 1 level, or we can upgrade 1 chip, except orange, anywhere in your pot. Yeah, it doesn't like you going from a 1-point pumpkin to a 6-point pumpkin.
Yeah.
Then we have the purple witch here. This one is going to activate during the scoring phase. It says you do not suffer any penalties if your pot explodes. Because normally if you explode, you can either take points or you can take credit. Here you're going to be able to, if you activate her, you're going to be able to basically do both. And if you qualify, you would be able to roll the bonus die. And then we have our victory point phase here. For every colored 2, 4, and 6 chip, as well as every purple and loco weed chip in the bag, earn 2 victory points. So that one's kind of cool as well. So as we activate those witches, we'll let you know, and we'll toss a coin to them. But for the most part, that is it. We will do an evaluation after each round. We're going to be drawing at our own pace. We each decide when we want to stop until we do the final round, and we'll talk more about that. So I think we're ready to play. Okay, to start off each round, Megan is going to draw a card and tell us what the effects are.
All right, so this one says draw 4 chips from your bag. Oh. All right.
I draw white.
Oh, that's unfortunate for you.
Yeah.
You may trade in one of them for a chip of the same color with the next higher value.
Megan always draws her dang pumpkin.
Yep.
So she goes from a 1 to a 6.
If you can't make a trade, take 1 green, 1 chip, and then put all the chips back into the bag.
A green, one green, that's it?
Yep.
Then that's kind of bogus.
Well, that sucks for you.
It does suck for me. All right. So now we are ready to just basically start drawing out. And if this does seem confusing, then just go back and watch our original video. We kind of explain things in more detail. Yeah. I'm at 7. All I drew were white. I'm stopping.
Yeah, I stopped at 6.
I don't want to explode.
I got to 7. What'd you get to?
I am at 7 as well.
So we both tied.
Yeah, so we both get to roll the die. And the bonus die gives me 1 point and gives you a point.
Cool. Was your second to last a spider?
No.
Nope, we don't have any.
We're doing this now?
Yeah, moths or ghosty thingies. Rubies? Nope.
Nope.
We both get 1 point because we're both on the same spot, so that's how I can tell that.
Yep.
And 7 to buy because we landed on a 7. Dang, I'm 1 shy of a spider.
And I didn't mention this, we have an overflow pot here. So if we
Yeah.
ever get to the end of this, then that'll come into play.
We've never done that.
No.
I've not even gotten close to that.
7, huh?
Yeah.
You could buy me a shroom.
You could.
Yeah, you know what? I'll buy one level 1 shroom.
Okay.
So then we take all of our ingredients, throw them back in our bag, and draw another card.
We've moved on to round 2, so we got our mandrakes out.
Oh yeah.
At the end of this round, all flasks get a free refill. So we can use our flasks to essentially put back one of those white chips as long as it didn't cause us to explode.
Yeah.
And then it costs 2 rubies to reflip over.
All right, so I drew a mushroom. So I'm going to draw this one. I'm going to put it aside. It's a white one, so I have to play it anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to go ahead and play it.
Well, that's your first white one, though. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Did better than me there.
So I'm drawing now our white ones.
Yeah.
I think that's about all
You
I
probably
got
have
left. So
5.
2, 5.
You're already ahead of me.
You know what? I'm going to stop because I'm on a ruby.
All right, so you get to roll because you ended higher than me.
Woohoo!
Pumpkin.
Hey, pumpkin. Can I have a 6 pumpkin, please?
But no, you get a 1.
I just thought I'd ask.
Do that. We don't have second to last spiders. No one else has anything. I did not end on a ruby.
I did end on a ruby.
All right.
So I'll take a ruby. Thank you
I
very much.
get 1 point for me. What did you land on?
Oh man, I keep forgetting. I could have used our flask.
Yeah. I told you. I get a point though. Please.
You get a point
What do you
and I get 1 point.
So we both move ahead.
And I got 9 to buy.
8 to buy. Ooh. I'm gonna buy 2 spider.
No. I'm gonna buy me a killer moth, a murder moth.
Murder moth.
I like to call them murder
Dead
moth.
flower. Whatever
Dead
they
flower.
are.
Now we can also use turn 2 rubies in order to move our water droplet head one. I'm not gonna do
Or
that
to
at the
refill
moment.
our flask.
Or to refill the flask.
Alright, we've gone to round 3. If you go ahead and put the ghosty thingy out.
Oh yeah. Okay, so all the books are in play now.
The player with the fewest victory points receives 1 green, 1 chip. We are tied, so that doesn't really matter.
The players with the fewest victory points. Yeah.
We're tied, so. Alright.
So we both get 1 green chip.
Alright. There you go.
I think that if I remember correctly, the rules say that you both get that if you tie.
I'm like, yeah.
Friendly ties sort of
Yeah.
thing.
Okay.
All right. Ready?
Yep.
Here we go. I drew all my spiders already,
Yeah.
unfortunately. Oh, now I did. I didn't realize I had 3 spiders.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was like, you've got spiders. Stop.
1, 2, 3. Tell the spiders run. And that puts me at 7, so I'll stop there.
Where'd you stop on?
I stopped at 11.
Stop at 14.
Wow.
I had my 6 pumpkin though. So 1 point for me. No murder flies. Second to last was not a spider. Do you get a ruby?
No.
I do not either. I get 3 points though.
1, 2, 3, and I get 2. 1, 2. Still
No
no
rat
rat tails.
tails.
11 to
14 to buy. Ooh. Got 4 spider. Look, spiders.
Oh man, 1 shiny. I'm gonna take a 2 skull.
Okay. Those are pretty good. Round 4.
I'm not trading my rubies in yet.
You can choose. Move your droplet forward 2 spaces or take a purple chip. I'm gonna move mine too.
I will take a purple chip.
Alright.
You seem to do fairly well though, because you move your water droplet head a lot.
I do.
Unfortunately, I drew that skull.
I've only lost to you like twice. Because I normally whoop on you in this game.
Whoop on it, and I drew my purple too soon.
Ooh.
And drew my mushroom, so my next one is a 1. I'm going to play it.
I'm tossing coin.
Ooh.
I'm not exploding. Well, I am exploding, but I'm not suffering any penalties. Because I exploded.
2, 4, 6. Where are you at?
I stopped at 13, but I exploded, so it's fine.
You stopped at 13. I'm at 12.
You
I'm
still
gonna
get to roll.
I'm gonna use my flask.
All right.
No, you'd be able to roll.
No. Oh, I don't. Yeah, yeah, you're right. I can.
And I drew that 2 again. Just wasted my flask.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go for it. Oh, my pumpkin.
There's a push your luck.
I think I'm gonna stop there.
So we tied.
So we tie, so we're both gonna be able to roll.
Okay. So I get 2 points.
And I will get
Ruby.
a ruby.
There you go.
Okay.
Second to last was not spiders.
Nope.
We don't have the other ones. Ruby?
Yes.
Yes. We both landed on the same, so we both get 2 points.
So
2. There's 2 rat tails now between us.
Yeah, so I'll get two rat tails.
And 13 to buy.
I'm gonna buy a 2 mandrake.
Yeah.
And then fizzle the 1.
I take one of those crow skulls. Try to combine that there, like a scroll.
The scroll
It's,
in the dungeon.
I was thinking like Captain Marvel, but okay.
Alrighty.
You can trade in a ruby for a 1 chip, not purple or black.
I can trade a ruby in for
A 1 chip. Yeah, I don't want to do that. Oh, but I would have used my 2 to move my droplet forward last round, so
yeah, I'm not gonna do that.
okay.
I'm gonna hold on to my rubies too.
Alrighty.
Here we go.
Crap. I hate drawing the white so early. Especially a 3.
Well, I'm drawing all my spiders early.
Spiders are good though, but not when
My
you
skull,
want
that's
them.
not good. Why couldn't have those been reversed?
I know, I always do that. See, I did the same thing.
Oh, yeah, finally my purple gets on a 1. Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Stop.
Still good. 1, 2. That's 6. I will stop there.
What'd you end on?
13.
17.
Wow.
2 points for me.
Jeez. Rich could... Oh, I forgot to put my rat tail down.
Oh.
Well. My bad. That cost me 2 spots.
Alright.
Yeah. Gotta remember these things.
Told you.
I know.
Alright, second to last. Not a spider for me.
Not.
You have a purple though, so
My purple is
you
on
receive as
1,
many victory points as the printed value on the next place chip.
which is 1.
So 1 VP.
I got 1
Do
VP.
you get a ruby?
I do get a ruby.
I do too. There you go. And I get 4 points.
1, 2, 3, 4.
What are you at?
I get 2.
And I'm at 17 to buy.
And we have 1, 2, 3, 4 rat tails. I'm gonna go ahead and do that so I don't forget.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's when I normally do it.
1, 2,
But-
3, 4. And then I have 13 to buy.
Mhm.
I'm gonna buy another 2 mandrake.
Okay.
I like me some mandrakes.
You're on round 6. Go ahead and take that extra 1 chip cherry bomb. So this applies to you. Use your rat stone as normal, or pass up on that many rat tails to take rubies instead.
Well, that would give me
I'll give you 3 rubies.
3 rubies. No, I'm not gonna do it.
Okay.
I need that.
Need
I'm
the
starting to
bonus.
fall behind. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Can't believe I forgot that last turn.
Come on. Oh God. I'm gonna use my flask. I don't want that.
Oh, I should have reset my flask. I forgot. I'm gonna set that one aside. And then I'm gonna play that one now, because then I will get a ruby for my skull. Would you hand me a ruby,
Yes.
please? Thank
Yeah.
you. That actually kind of paid off finally. Pumpkin. One, 2, and I will pay a ruby to move my mandrake 3.
Okay.
Extra. 1, 2, 3.
Ooh, you're ahead of me. You're getting ahead of me. Yeah, you're ahead of me.
2, 4. I'm at 6.
Ooh.
I am ahead of you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop.
No,
there
you
then.
should keep going.
I am at
Keep going.
19.
Go for
The
it.
first 19.
Keep going. You still got that 3 in there. You could keep going.
No, yeah, I still got that 3 in there. All right.
Yeah, you're ahead of me. I
So
stopped at
I will
17.
roll.
Pumpkin.
Yeah, pumpkin. Will you hand me a
Yeah.
6 pumpkin?
No, you're gonna win. Don't.
That's what we do to Hefe all the time.
Well, you're mean to him.
And
That's
he
why.
he usually does it, but we're nice. We tell him, hey, we got you.
All right. So you have a spider or
I have
moth.
I have a murder moth.
Murder moth. So you get to move your droplet forward.
1 space.
And second to last was not a spider for me. Not for you.
not either.
You have a pink though.
I do have a pink,
So
but
that
it's gonna
next
be a
one.
1.
That's still 1 point. Do you get a ruby? I do.
I do not. Oh, no, I do not get a
No.
ruby.
I get 4 points. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I get 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So 1, 2, 3 rat tails. So
1, 2, 3. Right, basically where it's at.
Yep.
And I get 19 to buy.
I get 17.
I'm gonna buy a 4 mandrake.
All right.
Loading up on the mandrakes.
And I'm gonna use my 2 rubies to bet my
I
water
did
droplet.
pay you for that mandrake I used that turn.
You
didn't I?
did, yes. Because you got your ruby from your crow skull, and then you essentially gave it back to me for the mandrake. Double the number of rat tails this round, so that's for you.
Oh, cool. So instead of getting 3, I get 6.
Oof. What does that start you at?
I was starting on 8.
I'm drawing all these stupid cherry bombs. Oh god.
Okay, so I will get a ruby for my skull, please.
Yeah.
Thank you kindly.
Oh god, this is dangerous now.
Ooh, there we go. Finally got a purple a little further ahead.
Ah, that's what I was worried about.
Did you blow up?
I drew all of these whites.
Kaboom!
Yeah.
All right, I've got 2, 4, 5. Keep going.
I already used my flask, otherwise it wouldn't have mattered though, really, but...
Oh,
my
boom,
God.
boom, boom.
Oh, so
Blew
we
up.
both blew up.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah,
So
so we
we
both
don't
blew
get
up,
to
so
roll.
neither one of us get to roll.
Second to last was a spider for you, though.
It was.
So you get to roll the dice, actually.
Well, yeah, because no murder moth.
Yeah.
So I would get 1 point.
Woohoo! You have a pink, so your next place chip.
Which would be 3.
Nice.
So
Catching
1,
up.
2, 3.
I am going to take the money.
Take the money and run.
You want the points or the money? Gotta put you in the lead.
I think I'm gonna take the 4 points.
1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so now there is 1 rat tail between me and you. I'm at 13 to
So
buy.
you get the rat tail.
Mm-hmm.
So, what? You blew up.
Yeah.
So you
I didn't take.
Oh, you
points.
took. That's right. You took.
I didn't take my point.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm like, hey, don't stop me here. I know what I'm doing.
So rat comes off for
That's
me.
why I was like 2 points. Nah, y'all still beat me, so it's fine.
I'm going to use 2 to reset my flask.
And
you know what? That's all I'm gonna do.
Okay.
I'm not gonna move it.
Round 8. After you've placed the first 5 chips in your pot, you can choose to continue or begin the round all over again.
Well, if you draw all those white chips like you've been doing.
God, yeah. That round sucked.
So, well, this is not a good placement for that purple. So
I'm actually not doing too bad right now, but
2, and I'm not paying because I'm not gonna do this. I'm gonna restart.
I'm not.
So there's
I'm
my 5.
pretty
So this is gonna go back in my bag, and I will just restart the round. You can only do that once.
Yeah.
So
you can't just keep redoing it.
no. I didn't even draw any whites during that
See,
time.
my 4th one there was a white, but I figured it was okay. Extra one.
Watch, I probably won't even draw that purple one now.
Probably not.
There's my mushroom, so I'm drawing. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and place that because I will get a ruby because it's within
ruby.
2.
Yep. There you go.
Thank you.
I'm stopped.
My 3, 3, 5, 7. I'm gonna use my flask.
Oh, get rid of that 3.
I'm getting rid of that 3. It's kind of funny, during all of the games we've been playing up to this, I've been forgetting to use my flask. All right, so 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 Mandrake. I will pay a ruby and move him to another 3. 1, 2, 3.
How do you know it's a he? Maybe it's a girl.
I don't know.
Yeah, no. I don't know how they did
Pumpkin. Another pumpkin. They're not 6 pumpkins. 1, 2, 3. So now I got my 3 there. So now I'm back to 7. Where are you at?
26.
Oh, snap.
Yeah. You still got 2 in there. You've got 2
I
more
could toss
ones.
a coin to my Witcher.
You could.
I'm going.
All right, go for it.
Going. So 1.
So that blows you up.
So that does blow me up, but I will.
Do not suffer any penalties.
I will toss a coin to my Witcher.
All right, so I'm way ahead of you. So I get a ruby. My last one was a spider, so I get a point. No moths.
No moths.
I did the spider. You did pink. Rubies. I don't get a ruby. So you
I
get a
did
ruby.
not get a ruby.
I get 10 points, so that puts me to 32.
I get 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that is 1 wrap between us.
But I will get.
Yes, you get it. And then I have 26 to buy. Ooh, pumpkin.
19 to buy. I'll buy another 4 Mandrake.
Nice. Do you want to cash in those rubies?
Yeah, I'm going to cash 2 of them in to flip that flask.
Okay. So this is the last round. Alrighty, we fly by in this game. Alright, our last card. Everyone rolls the dice once and gets the bonus shown. I get a pumpkin. A 1 pumpkin.
And I get a pumpkin. I'll take a 6, please.
No, you don't. You get the 1.
I want a 6.
Alright, so for this last round, we are going to be pulling 1 out at a time, or what we think may be 1 at a time.
Yeah.
Holding like that and revealing, so that way
1.
we kind of do it a little bit differently.
All right, so that's a 2. So I get
A ruby.
ruby, please.
Ah, there you
Oh, 3. 1, 2, 3. That puts me at 5 already. Man. I gotta keep going.
You don't have to tell me that.
That's true. I don't have to tell you
I was
that.
gonna say, like, thanks for the heads up, but alright. Where are you at? 5? 5, yeah. You still have the 2, so you realistically could be good.
I'm drawing in my mandrakes.
6. That loco weed just copied my 6 pumpkin.
I don't think I bought any local weed this
Yeah,
time.
I did.
Oh, man.
They never were paying off before. I was really lucky with that one. Here's all my spiders, though.
I'm scared.
You don't have to pull.
It's a 1.
You
So
don't have to
3,
tell
4,
me.
5, 6, 7. Yeah. So I'm going to use my flask.
Okay.
And I'm going to throw that back in. Because why not? You might as
Yeah.
well use your flask this last round.
Yeah, I might as well. I already used mine. Never flipped back over.
Oh, there we go. There's my mandrake. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll pay a ruby and move him another 3. 1, 2, 3.
No, thanks.
Got another mandrake. So 1, 2. I'll pay another ruby and move it another 3. 1, 2, 3. Where are you at?
27. The second 27.
Yeah.
Oh, you're still going.
Okay, so it puts me 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Come on, keep. Even if you gotta fake it. Oh. 1,
I
2,
gotta
3,
stop.
4. I am only at 5. I'm gonna keep going because why not? 1, 2, 3, 4. I have to pull, and I have to place that, so that's fine. And there we go. Overflow.
You actually overflowed.
Yep.
First time ever.
Mhm.
Did that cause you to explode?
Nope, that put me at 7.
You could still keep going if you wanted.
Nope, I'm good.
All right. So we will go ahead and do our evaluation here. Obviously, you are the furthest along, so
Yep.
you're going to be able to roll the die.
1
Of
point.
course, you get an extra victory point.
My last one was not a spider. Was yours?
It was not. I do have my murder moth, but
It doesn't really matter for this one. You have
Yeah.
a pink though.
I do have a
Next-
pink, so that's going
The next
to.
one.
It's 3.
1, 2, 3. Rubies. I passed that, so
Yes, I get a ruby,
okay.
which is good because then that gives me 2 rubies.
So I am at. Okay, how do we do this with overflow? I forget.
Okay, because this is the first time we've actually had to use the overflow bowl. Essentially, it says if a player reaches the final space in the pot or moves past it, they should place their chip on the 33 space. If this final chip triggers an action that affects the next chip drawn, this action is forfeited, which that did not come into play
No,
for
I
you.
just kept drawing.
If the player draws additional chips from their bag, which you did, these chips should be placed in the overflow bowl,
Which
which
they
you
are.
did. When scoring victory points, that turn, the player first receives what is pictured on the spoon, which is 15 victory points
15.
and 35 coins. The player then adds the value of all their chips in their overflow bowl and receives half this total amount rounded down in victory points,
This is negative.
which would be, well, it would be half a point.
Yeah,
Rounded down would be 0.
exactly.
So
Yeah.
you're not going to get anything there. So really, it
No.
didn't come into play
No,
much.
but I got those 15 VP,
So yeah, you will get 15.
and then I have 35 to buy, which this is the final round, so that's gonna be 7 points, please.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This may be the biggest butt kicking yet.
Maybe.
So I stopped at 7 victory points.
So it's so it's every 5.
Hang on. So my
it's
7 victory points.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There you go.
All right. And now because I am at 22, divide by 5. That's 4 points.
1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna go ahead and do the gold witch here. So for every colored 2, 4, or 6 chip, as well as every purple and loco weed in your bag, you're in 2 VP.
In my bag.
No, that actually didn't matter for me
Um,
because all of my chips are pretty much out. So I should not have done that, but I already used my coin.
Well, you can take it back.
No, I used my coin.
Yeah, like
Use
it's
my
not going to
coin.
matter. I am not going to because I know it's not going to matter.
So
For
that
me.
gives you 4 VP since you didn't use your coins.
Well, hang on. We're not there yet. We're here. So,
Yeah.
oh, you don't have any rubies to cash in.
No.
I will cash
So
in
it gives you
2
1
rubies,
point.
so it gives me another point. So, oops, cash
And then
those
you're
in.
4 for your coins.
And then I get 4 points for my coins. Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 2
Yeah.
points apiece, and you still
get-
have 1 coin.
Yeah,
Right?
so 2.
So another 2 points. So Megan had 57 to my 47. So you beat me by 10 points.
Yep.
That's actually a pretty good butt kick in there.
Mm-hmm.
So we will award Megan the trophy.
Woo.
So you had how many? You had at least 2 6 pumpkins. That really helped.
I had 2 6 pumpkins. I had a lot of 4 spiders. I had a 4 shroom.
And where did your water droplet end up at?
4.
Oh, mine was 1. A lot of times our water droplets are further ahead.
It depends on that book though.
I tried to go heavy mandrake, and so I wanted to make sure I had the rubies.
See, I end up going more for spiders on this one when we play with this set.
Yeah.
I don't really go for the mandrakes in this one.
Yeah. Well, that is the nice thing about having the different books. But we're getting a little ahead of ourselves, so now let's get to what we think. All right, so what we did prior to playing this is, since Megan had not played the base game of Quacks, we played 2 for each book.
So we played 8 games?
So we played 8 games of
Yeah.
that. What did you think of the original before adding the
I liked
bonus
it.
stuff?
I liked all of the different books. I mean, they were definitely scaled, so like as the more you played, like a little bit more strategy I think went into kind of some of these other sides of the books. So I thought it was cool. I liked it. I wasn't really sure if I would enjoy this when you were first telling me about it. I was like, I don't know, but I do really like it. It's a good game.
It's a pretty laid back game.
Yeah, we don't talk a lot.
What's funny though is
get mad.
is when one person stops and the other person is basically cheering them on for their pot to explode.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, no, I like it. I think the expansion's nice. The Loco Weed's a little bit interesting. I like this version of it, and that's where I play with this side, where it copies the function. Oh, I should have actually copied that 6. I would have been way more ahead. So I didn't actually do that. I should have. So, because that would have copied the last colored one, which was that. So I put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then I still would have had.
No, you did. You were at 6 spaces.
Oh, I was. Yeah, you're right.
So, yeah,
I
you
can't
did
count.
do it.
It's fine.
That's okay.
Hard. But yeah.
But yeah, that's a huge benefit that the Loco Weed there provides.
Yeah, because the other side was you place this chip based on the total number of spaces you moved your rat stone, which when we played with the expansion, we were pretty close most games where the rat stone wasn't really that big of a deal. So I liked this one where it was a copy, so it kind of made it like a wild.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they're cool. I like the additions that they've given. This one, the other side of this one was really interesting. So when you purchased the Murder Moth, you give the chip to the player to your left, so it fills up their bag, and then you move your droplet forward, and then for every black chip the player to your left has in their pie, you also receive a ruby, and then you also receive a ruby for each black chip that's last or next to last in your own pot. So that one I kind of like better than this other one.
It's officially called the African Death's Head Hawk Moth.
That's a mouthful. Murder Moth just works as well.
Yeah, Murder Moth, that sounds cool.
Dead fly, whatever.
Dead fly.
But no, I like that. I like the 22 the 6 pumpkin. Obviously that's the most expensive because it moves you the furthest, but it's pretty good. And like how I drew that first card to swap out at the beginning definitely helped.
Going back to this, when we played the base game, you use that in your strategy a lot because that's one that really didn't change a lot. You would load up on those, and you would always beat me with that. So you were moving your water droplet, and you were getting a ruby.
Yeah, I never bought one of those. I didn't buy a mandrake this game. I like the mandrakes a little bit better in the base. I
don't know. I like this version. I don't. The other side is not that great. It says after placing this chip, draw 1 additional chip and move the yellow chip forward by the value of this newly drawn chip,
See,
and then put the chip back in.
Is bad.
Well, that one doesn't really come into play unless you got a lot of big
Yeah.
chips. That's why I like this version better than the one that we were using.
I like the other one better. I don't know. Personally, I like the other mandrake, so that's why I don't really go for those. I kind of go for these if I have the money. The shroom can kind of hurt you, or it could be beneficial. So I don't know. I pretty much go for spiders most of the time. Though whatever change I have left goes to pumpkins when I play this one. The witches are cool though. I like that because it can still help you if you do blow up. You can score some VP. There's a bunch of different ones, so you can play with whoever.
Yeah, if you want to see those in detail, check out our unboxing. But I do like the addition of the witches and having the pennies to basically activate them, and mixing them up. I think gives you something else. Because if you've played the base game a lot, then you're definitely going to want to have this because of what it does add. It does add the Loco Weed. It does add the witches. It adds 2 more different books, especially with the pumpkin being going up to 6 now, or 22 now.
Like I said earlier,
6 value, 22
when
cost.
we were playing before we filmed, I kind of wish there was more cards that would be included in the expansion. But again, we've been playing this a lot, so we see all the cards come up. I don't really know exactly how many there are, but having some new ones in the expansion I think would have been nice.
I think it's funny though
There was
that
24 fortune cards. So.
yeah, the overflow pot. We've played
A lot.
6 games of the expansion.
No, we've played at least 8.
And that was the first time that has come into play was this game. So
that was kind of nice, but for me it didn't really help me with the only one. But I mean, I could have probably kept going, but I didn't want to.
But that's interesting. You also get a board for a 5th player, and their cauldron is black.
And there's more chips to accommodate for that as well.
Yeah. So that's the extra stuff that you get. I like what the expansion has added to the game. I think it breathes some new life, especially if you've played it a lot and you're looking for something else. The game is very accessible to everybody, like I've said in the original review. It's push your luck. You're basically just building your bag, you're pulling it out, and when do you think you're gonna not explode, type of thing to stop. So I think that's good. So I like the gameplay. I like the new additions. Highly recommend getting this expansion.
Still think there should be some ducks somewhere in this.
Well, maybe the next ingredient will be like,
duck beak or something. I don't know. Duck
beak,
feather.
woo.
I don't know.
Yeah, something like that.
I like it though. It's good. Recommend it. Good game.
So check it out, and we will catch you guys next time.
Bye.
If you would like to support us, you can visit patreon.com/dadvdaughter.
Like and follow us on Facebook to stay current on our show schedule, sneak peeks at future shows, and to interact with us.